Hey guys, Sprambury here, and welcome back to another Top 5 in Victoria 2. Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 challenging nations in Victoria 2. Now, let's start out with a little bit of a definition of how I define challenging. I saw a lot of suggestions for the hardest nation. Also, I saw a lot of suggestions for the most fun nation. So I thought that combining those two into the most challenging nation would be appropriate. So challenging, of course, is a combination of difficulty and enjoyment or fun. So if I feel like they kind of complement each other. So if something is a little bit more difficult, it can make the fun aspect even better, and if it's fun, then it can make the challenging aspect of it not seem as arduous. So we're going to start with number 5 as usual, work our way up to number 1, and of course, as usual, let's go ahead and get started. The first on our list here, well, actually fifth on our list, so the fifth most challenging nation in the game will probably surprise you. I would say it was actually kind of weird. I'm thinking about it, but if you let me explain it to you, I'm sure you'll get it. Number 5 is the United Kingdom. Now, the United Kingdom, you're going to be like, oh, well, duh, they're the easiest. How could you say that they're going to be the most challenging? They're not going to be fun because it's really easy. Well, they kind of are challenging. It's like, as a new player playing the United Kingdom, you're going to have to manage not only like just this little area here with as opposed to the United States, like they have all their stuff right next to each other. The United Kingdom has to deal with all of they have colonies all over the world pretty much. They have colonies here in Canada, they have colonies in South America, Africa, and Asia. So pretty every single continent, even Australia, is all the British. So every single continent has a little bit of a territory that you're going to have to worry about as the United Kingdom. So it's going to be very difficult as a new player to manage all those things, and that's why it's hard. Now, why is it fun? Well, it can be very, very fun because the United Kingdom, of course, already starts out on top. You can just become even more of a world leader as far as military prestige and industry go. As far as the United States, you can go ahead and take New England from them because that's a very profitable trade node, and you can perhaps even reclaim the 13 colonies from them. So show them up for showing you up in the Civil or Revolutionary War. You can also keep on expanding over here in India. If I was going to play the United Kingdom, I would think like a super strategy would be to use my already like massive lands here in India to attack China and make all of these things down here colonies and use all of their immense population to just have a super soldiers and like 1,000,000 army strong and just go and like rape everybody. You could probably take over all of China and all of India and maybe even start moving. I would do my best to maybe invade France or something like that. You can take over Belgium. You can do a lot as the United Kingdom. There's a big room for expansion. You can steal Washington State from the United States of America, and they can't really do anything about it because you have so many troops stationed in Canada that you can kind of beat the United States. They're actually 21st military, so they shouldn't be that hard to take over. Especially if if you get an alliance with Mexico or sphere them or something like that, you can use Mexico to help you beat up the United States. Alright, so we've seen how it can be fun and how it can be challenging to play the United Kingdom. Let's move on to number 4. Now this one was pretty easy, I think, to choose. Number 4 is the Chinese Empire. Now, the reason why China is very difficult to play is just because the beginning, you have to westernize, and westernization is probably one of the hardest things to do in this game. It's like a combination of being lucky and waiting. So you kind of have to wait for events and things to fire for you to get more westernization progress, and you kind of hope that the bad events don't fire that take away westernization progress. So as the Chinese Empire, you're going to have a really tough time westernizing. However, once you do westernize, you are going to be a beast. There is no one on the face of the earth that can stop a fully westernized China because they have just an amazing military. Now, there's nothing you can do because, like, look at that. They have 51 million people in their country alone. That doesn't seem like a lot, but let's take a look. Who's the other big population people that you can think of? Probably Russia. So Russia, the country that beat Germany in World War II just by throwing people, only has 15 million compared to China's 50 million. That's ridiculous. If you were westernized as China in 1836, you could easily conquer like all of Asia, and it would be insane. You would just go crazy ham and take over everything. But like I said, the difficult part is actually getting that westernization done. But once you're there, it's going to be lots of fun. So I think that's why China is the fourth most challenging country. Moving on to the number 3rd most challenging country, which is Punjab. Punjab is very challenging. The goal is would be to form India, and the reason why it's really hard is because you got your big Great Britain here. Basically, the strategy is you want to take over Afghanistan, Kalat and Sindh, and Makran. You want to get like a good, because they have a lot of population between them all. You're going to get about you start out with 2 million, which is very good. That's a lot of population, but you're going to want to get more because you're going to need to westernize and use those soldiers to beat back the British, which is very difficult. And props to you if you can do it. You can also expand into China, which is also that's a really good idea because they have also a lot of population that can help you beat the British in India. So yeah, that's number 3. Once you form India, which so after you've done the hard part, it's going to be very fun to play as India because India has like the same thing as China. They have a ridiculously high amount of population here. I would say a good percentage of the United Kingdom's population comes from the provinces that they have down here in British India. So as a fully united India, you'll be very scary. Alright, moving on to the 2nd most challenging nation in Victoria 2. That would be Greece. Now, why is Greece hard? Well, because you got the Ottomans breathing down your neck, right, already from day 1. Luckily, you do get sphered early on by the United Kingdom, and you can use the United Kingdom to help you beat back the Ottomans a little bit. You can also do crisis wars to, regain part of some of your lands, but that can be very, it's very random whether or not you're gonna get is Russia gonna come help you or not. It's kind of up in the air about how you're gonna be able to regain your territory as Greece. However, once you do regain all your territory, that's when the fun begins, because you can form Byzantium, which is really cool. If you want to see that actually happen, you can go check out Shen. He made a video series where he actually played as Greece and formed Byzantium. It was really cool. He made a huge swath of Greece across the African continent, which is very fun, very hard, and also very challenging, of course. So that's it for number 2. Let's move on to the big number 1, and it is the No, I'm just kidding. It's not the United States of America. I know you guys know I love the United States of America, but nope, not this time. The number 1 most challenging nation in Victoria 2 is Luxembourg. Now, the reason you're like, what the hell? That's like one province minor. What the hell are you going to do with that? Well, Luxembourg is amazing because they accept both French and German culture. So if you were to take over all of France and all of Germany and form Germany, you would accept all of the French culture, which is a ridiculous amount of population total to have accepted, especially for Europe. Well, obviously that's like almost all of Europe is French and German. So you're going to have like an amazing amount of power. That's like going to be so awesome if you're able to form Germany. However, it's very, very, very difficult to go from the one province minor to the North German Confederation to anything because, of course, you have this massive Prussia here. You're surrounded by Belgium and Netherlands, which could easily, well, Netherlands is, you got there in your, you're in their sphere to start out, which makes things even more difficult. The only ways that you can really expand is by, kind of piggybacking on other people's wars. So, for instance, if Prussia is in a war with Austria, they're going to be very busy, of course. You're going to want to go ahead and try to take over these states down here and just get bigger and bigger and do every sleazy game tactic you can possibly think of to increase the size of your little Luxembourg, because it's very, very difficult. You're going to have to, besides cheating, you're going to have to get very, very lucky to be able to do this, and that's why it's the most challenging nation to play in Victoria 2. I hope you enjoyed my top 5 video of the most challenging nations. If you'd like to suggest another top 5 in the comments, that would be great. This one I actually got from the comments, so if you suggest something, it's probably going to happen. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. If you have any suggestions, if you don't think my top 5 was right, go ahead and say that in the comments too. And I'll see you guys next time. Spray and pray out.